How's it going, everybody? Mr. Holton here. Today I'm coming at you with some Baldur's Gate 3 news and some news about Larian's future, and these news are very good but also pretty sad. So just after I uploaded my breakdown video of Swen Vincke's very passionate speech during the Game Developer Conference, Gamespot actually had a sit-down with Swen Vincke himself in a approximately 24-minute long video where Sven talked about the future for both Baldur's Gate 3 and for Larian. And I just want you to brace yourself because a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 fans might not love this news. But unfortunately, Larian will not be producing any future expansions for Baldur's Gate 3. They are not going to make Baldur's Gate 4. We're not going to see any future sort of huge DLC. However, Sven has confirmed that they are still working on several functions for Baldur's Gate 3 that is coming to the future, and they're obviously going to keep patching the game and give us at least some small content updates. But when it comes to Larian, unfortunately, we just have to live with the fact that they are not going to make a follow-up game to Baldur's Gate 3. Here's a clip from the interview.
When it came to BG3, everybody was telling you gotta make DLC.
Yeah,
you gotta make DLC, and really you should be starting on a sequel. Right? This is so successful, it makes so much money, and so for a while I was actually I say yeah, that's what we should be doing. Should change our plans. We should be doing that. And so team actually said yeah, we should be doing that. And then but then later in the year I realized well that's not what we're made for. I mean like, that's literally the opposite of what Larian is about. We want to do big new things. We don't want to rehash the thing that we've done already. So that's when we said, oh, we're not going to do that. So we're just back on our original plan, which is going to the next thing, and then the bigger thing.
Now, yes, I know this is super sad because I and many others had hoped that they would at least give us a small expansion or that they would start working on the next game in the Baldur's Gate series, you know, because of the massive success that Baldur's Gate 3 has seen. However, the good news is that Sven has an even bigger vision for the future.
At what point did you start thinking about what's next for the studio?
Before we started. So this was part of a larger plan that I have towards what I call the very big RPG that will dwarf them all.
Oh, so Baldur's Gate isn't that RPG?
No.
Wow.
No, not at all. But it's a very long plan, complicated.
So the next game isn't that RPG either. It's another step towards it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think there's some tech that we don't have yet.
Okay.
And then I hope, I don't know what the specs are going to be in the next gen, but I hope we're going to get something.
You see, Sven has been hinting for a while now what his next project could be, but during this interview we actually learned that he does have an actual vision for their next game. Now, he didn't want to divulge any details, but what we do know is that it's, of course, not going to be Baldur's Gate 4, and it's not going to be a D&D game. Yes, you heard that right, it's not going to be another Dungeons & Dragons game, and I know a lot of you might be thinking that they could be working on a Divinity 3 game, because Sven has mentioned that a Divinity 3 game is coming at some point. But at this point, it could really be anything. He also mentioned during this interview that we will probably not have to wait as long as we did for Baldur's Gate 3 in the end, because he wants to keep the production timeline around 4 to 5 years, since that's a pretty reasonable time to make a game. So if all goes well, we could probably see Larian's next game in the next 4 or 5 years. And I can't wait to see what Sven and Larian are cooking. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to Mr. Holton, signing out.